Ralston Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
And welcome to the winners bracket of the 2025 Region 1 Baseball Tournament here on yourliveevent.com, featuring Northern Cass and Central Cass here today. This is our pregame show brought to you in part by Irie Insurance. I'm Chase Miller. Well, right now I've got some light sprinkles that are making its way through. The wind continues to howl here, and that continues to be normal throughout the Red River Valley. But in this one, it's the Central Cass Squirrels and Northern Cass. Winner of this game goes to championship bracket. The loser will play the winner of our next game is going on over at Hellingfield between the Lisbon Broncos and the Oak Grove Grovers after Oak Grove defeated the Kindred Vikings by a final of 4-3 earlier today. So the Vikings are out. The Oaks Tornadoes are out with some of the games that have happened earlier. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll dive into the matchup a little bit more. Get you ready for our starting lineups and the opening pitch. And this is our pregame conversation brought to you by Irie Insurance here on yourliveevent.com.
I will be your guiding light, 'cause you don't have to go alone. I will bring you through the storm. I will lift you up. No, you're not on your own. I will be the light that carries you through the storm. I will lift you up.
The Northern Cass Booster Club is here for all Jaguar students from academics, arts, athletics, and co-curricular activities throughout the school year. You can find more information or become a Northern Cass Booster Club member today by scanning the QR code on screen now or follow the Northern Cass Booster Club on Facebook for updates throughout the year, or simply search for the Northern Cass Booster Club page on the Northern Cass School website. Go Jags!
There's more at 104. Hillsboro, North Dakota has everything you need on your next road trip. Food, fuel, fun, and family-friendly activities. Stop by and fill up your tank or grab a bite to eat. Have a blast at Goose River Golf Club, the swimming pool, or one of our beautiful parks. There's even ice skating and cross-country skiing. Take in the sights or stay the night so you don't miss a thing. Experience Hillsboro and see why there's more at 104.
As we continue on the pregame show here today, go to IrieInsurance.com to get a free quote. Started taking a look at some of the other final results that have came on in, again, from the first round of games here from the Region 1 baseball tournament. Lisbon defeated Oaks the opening round here today. The Lisbon Broncos defeated Oaks in an elimination game 9-4. In that contest, Jaden Howard had 4 runs driven in the win as the Broncos score 7 runs combined between the 5th and the 6th innings. Also a final, the Oak Grove Grovers have defeated the Vikings by a final of 4-3 earlier today on yourliveevent.com. After these games wrap up here, the question becomes when and where will the games be. Northern Cass is slated to host coming up throughout the rest of the tournament, and the issue is just Mother Nature on what will or will not be able to get played for games. And then if you go later on in the evening as well, some of the high school fields in their area have lights, some don't. So where would you maybe move the games and then just kind of see what the weather would have? But again, everything is scheduled just by the bracket, where the higher seed would host the final 3 teams tomorrow. But tomorrow's weather conditions don't look all that promising. So hopefully get the games in today and then just kind of see what the next 24, 48 hours bring before you get to state track and field coming up on Thursday. Again, that is a look at the Region 1 baseball tournament from earlier here today. What we're going to do is take one more break. When we come back after this, get ready for the starting lineups and the opening pitch here today in this one, and as well get you set for some of the other games and some of the finals that are making their way through here from Region 1 softball, Region 2 baseball and softball, that and more here on your live event.
Farmers, are you expanding, upgrading, or want to automate? Visit with the experienced staff at Hope Electric to learn about the latest electrical systems and the newest technologies that they have developed to make your operation more efficient. Get a custom system in place with features like iPad truck loading and remote view grain storage, touchscreen controls, hazard monitoring systems, and wireless cellular cameras to protect your assets. Hope Electric, serving the agricultural and commercial industry since 1978. Visit hopeelectric.com or call 701-945-2460.
Hunter Insurance Agency is a locally owned full-service agency providing protection and coverage in a number of different areas. Hunter Insurance Agency offers multi-peril crop insurance, crop hail insurance, and farm insurance for buildings and equipment. Plus, they offer home, auto, life, and business insurance. For more information, go online to hunterinsuranceagency.com or stop in and speak with Johnny Jorgensen at Hunter Insurance Agency. Find them at 201 Main Street, Hunter.
As we continue here on our pregame shows, the starting lineups are getting exchanged here in a moment. Let's recap what happened earlier here today on YourLiveEvent.com. Hillsborough, Central Valley, Mayport, CG played each other when it came to baseball here, and the final in that one between the Burros and the Patriots. The winner going to play the Thompson Tommies a little bit later on here, scheduled this afternoon. The Burros pick up a 10-1 win over the Mayport CG Patriots, where the Burros come out victorious in that game over the Mayport CG Patriots, again for HCV. From there, the Region 1 softball tournament between Central Cass and Enderlin. The Central Cass Squirrels all over the Enderlin Eagles earlier today out in Castleton from Coss Field, in which the Squirrels came out on top as they run-ruled the Enderlin Eagles. It was final score that we saw out there going into the top of the fifth was 27-0 Central Cass in favor of the Enderlin Eagles. So that's a look at some of your other out-of-town scores currently underway. Thompson and Carrington, Region 2 softball tournament. That one just wrapped up moments ago in Mayville on YourLiveEvent.com, in which the Thompson Tommies defeated the Carrington Cardinals by a run rule here today. So the Thompson Tommies for softball making its way through 19-6, the final with you in that one in Mayville. And then Nelson County and Hatton Northwood against each other between the Thunder and the Chargers. That one currently bottom of the second inning in Mayville, and that is currently scoreless between the Thunder and the Chargers. So that, again, is a look at your out-of-town scoreboard here. This is our pregame show brought to you in part by Irie Insurance. Go get the customer protection you want at IrieInsurance.com. They cover it all from home, auto, crop, commercial, life, and benefits insurance. That, again, is IrieInsurance.com to get a free quote started today. Here's a look at the starting lineups. Keegan Peterson, the junior third baseman, will be batting leadoff. Brody Cagley, the sophomore DH, batting second. Jake Thompson, the senior second baseman, batting third. Noah Muckow, the senior first baseman, batting cleanup. From there, Cale Pearson, the senior catcher, will be batting fifth, with Jack Everson, the junior shortstop, batting sixth. Ryan Osmonstead, the sophomore right fielder, batting seventh. Grayson Lewis, the junior left fielder, batting eighth. Lucas Christensen, the sophomore pitcher, batting ninth. Easton Holland, the sophomore center fielder, here today. So again, Peterson, Cagley, Thompson, Muckow, Pearson, Everson, Osmonstead, Lewis, Christensen, and Holland. As we get you ready for our opening pitch, brought to you in part by Norman County Raceway and the Red River Valley Speedway here in this one. You can get ready for racing on the radio on 106.5 KRJB Thursday and Friday nights throughout the summer months upcoming. Thursday night races up in Ada, Friday night at the Red River Valley Speedway. Hanson will be in left field here today for the Jigs, with Metzger in center, Cody Waitson in right, Clement at first with OC at second, Easton Holland at shortstop, Hoppy at third, Carter Waitson behind the plate, and Trey Huzar will be on the mound here for Northern Cass as we get ready for our starting lineups again. Norman County Raceway, check out the World of Outlaw Late Model Series coming into Ada on June the 28th. Tickets now available at NormanCountyRaceway.com. That again is NormanCountyRaceway.com. Then the Red River Valley Speedway in West Fargo. Friday night races start at 7 o'clock, and you can get ready for the World of Outlaw Sprint Car Series coming in on May the 31st and on August the 23rd. For more info, go to RedRiverValleySpeedway.com. And again, is RedRiverValleySpeedway.com. As we take a look at the pitchers who have gone so far for Northern Cass, 12 pitchers with Cody Waitson, Parker Anderson, Metzger, and Huzar. For Central Cass so far, Broder, Lindstrom, Peterson, and Christensen here today in this one. So Huzar will be going up against Keegan Peterson. Opening pitch scheduled for 1 o'clock. 125, not too shabby in terms of getting everything underway here. And we're off and running in the very first of the winners portion of the bracket here today. Again, starting lineups and get you ready for the opening pitch, brought to you in part by Red River Valley Speedway and Norman County Raceway here in this one. Keegan Peterson so far here in this tournament, 1 of 8 with a run driven in here at the plate for the Central Cass Squirrels. This one will run in for a bull. It's now 3-0 here to the junior third baseman. Here's the 3-0 pitch upcoming. That'll miss for a walk, and Keegan draws a 4-pitch walk on the way. And you'll see Central Cass able to get a runner at first base. For Trey Huzar, as we mentioned earlier, came in and closed the door on the Lisbon Broncos to pick up a win and get to this particular point of the Region 1 baseball tournament. Huzar with 60 pitches thrown now here in this tournament. Here's the pickoff. Going to get back at first base. Sliding in there is Keegan Peterson. Brody Cagley, the sophomore DH. Brody 0 for 7 with a run scored and a walk so far here in the tournament. Huzar with the pitch. That'll be in there for a strike. It's 0-1. And we'll see where the infield's going to go. Clement hard charging down the third base line. As you have Hoyland at shortstop going to cover second. The second baseman, OC, then would cover first as Clement would make his way down to first. If there's a bunt, there is a bunt, but that'll go foul. And now it'll be 0-2 here to the sophomore designated hitter. So no balls, 2 strikes here to Cagley as the Broncos and Oak Grove Grovers about ready to take the diamond as the Kinder Vikings have fallen short with their season coming to a close, and the same for the Oaks Tornadoes here with games earlier today. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and this one will be a pickoff throw back to the first baseman there with Clement. And we'll keep it at 0-2 upcoming. As Huzar looks back the runner. This one missing out of the zone. It's now 1-2. So 4 teams remaining. And eventually we'll make it down to 3. Northern Cass, Central Cass, no matter the outcome of this game, they know they'll have at least one more here in the region baseball tournament, pending what weather has in store. This one's going to be hit on the ground. Chance to get one, and they do. They get the lead runner at second base. So it'll be a fielder's choice on the way for Cagley as he's able to reach, but the leadoff batter and Peterson will be retired. So nice job by Clement cutting that ball off. So reaching base on a fielder's choice will be Cagley, and there's one down. Thompson already 2 home runs here in the tournament against the Ball Stars, and then also against the Kinder Vikings back on Thursday on their comeback win, in which Central Cass plated 6 runs in the 6th inning, as that one will be a wild pitch on Huzar. It'll be 1-0 to Jake, as Cagley will get into scoring position now at second base. Able to see Northern Cass this season 2 times play the Squirrels, both times picked up wins in that twin bill up in Hunter earlier in the year. As Huzar looks back the runner. This one good spot for it at the knee. It's called a strike. It's now 1-1. As able to make your way through the respective course of this game into what these two teams hope to eventually be next Thursday, which is at Newman Outdoor Field in Fargo for the state tournament. This one runs out of the zone. It's now 2-1. So 2 balls, 1 strike on the way after Peterson walked, retired at second after the fielder's choice by Kegley, who now stands at second base, as Huzar with the 2-1 offering. This one will be hit up the first base side, but that'll go foul. It's now 2-2. Able to see what Thompson has done at the plate. We mentioned a couple of home runs here for Jake. 4 of 7 with 3 runs driven in and 3 runs scored. Good part of the lineup here for the Squirrels to try to do something against Trey with Thompson, Muckow, and Pearson. 2-2. Strike 3 looking, and Thompson is retired. And there is 2 down. Able to get the second out, and Huzar gets the punch out here. Large out number 2 at that, as you will see now Noah Muckow, the senior first baseman. Muckow 0 for 7 so far here in the tournament. This one will be in the dirt, smothered there by Carter Waits, and it's now 1-0. Our Central Cass, chance to get the go-ahead run, try to find a way to climb aboard and see if you can take an early lead against Northern Cass and take some pitches against Trey Huzar, what they're doing so far in this inning. There's a big swing on Muckow. It's now 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike as both teams and fans alike, umbrellas, maybe even bring your winter jacket out to the ballpark here today. A blanket or 2 as Huzar looks back the runner at second and Kegley gets back in safely. Keep you apprised what's going on in Castleton with the Region 1 softball tournament. Mayville hosting both Region 2 baseball and softball. Region 3 baseball has been postponed to tomorrow. As this one goes out of the zone, it's now 2-1. And at this point of the year, it's all about finding ways to get games in, and then for those dual sport athletes, trying to avoid maybe a state track and field meet on top of that later this week. 2-1 is followed straight back in the inning. As we'll make the count now 2 balls and 2 strikes, the cleanup batter here in the Central Cass lineup. As Huzar right now on one side going up against Lucas Christensen, the other pitcher here for the Central Cass Squirrels, once he takes them on for his first appearance in the bottom of the first inning. Here's the 2-2. That'll be out of the zone low. Now 3-2. So full count upcoming here to Noah. And we'll get the payoff pitch upcoming here for Huzar. This one's going to be hit in the air, but that'll go foul, and we'll keep it at 3-2. Kegley stands at second base. Muckow again at the plate, 4th batter of the inning for the Central Cass Squirrels. 3-2, got him out in front, and Muckow is retired via the strikeout. There were no runs, no hits, no errors, and a runner left on base. Huzar with back-to-back strikeouts to get out of the first inning. On the Bank North scoreboard at Central Cass scoreless, Northern Cass coming to the plate.
It's time to hit the ground with summer lawn and gardening projects, and Mayport Hardware is here to help. Stop by the greenhouse and browse the wide selection of flowers to liven up your yard. From the outdoor power tools of mowers, tillers, and trimmers to the lawn care essentials of seeds, fertilizers, and top-tier gardening tools, let Mayport Hardware transform your yard to where the grass is greener. Come visit Tim, Sue, and the staff at Trail County's Hardware Hank on Main Street in Mayville.
The World of Outlaws late models return to the Norman County Raceway, Ada, Minnesota, June 28th. Ada Building Center LLC start to finish showdown. Presented by R&J Broadcasting Incorporated. Enjoy the experience. Nationwide top 10 experience last year. Let's make it number 1 this year. World of Outlaws late models. Ada Building Center LLC start to finish showdown. Presented by R&J Broadcasting Incorporated. Tickets now available. ncraceway.com.
As we go to the bottom of the first inning here on YourLiveEvent.com, Metzger, OC, and then you have Trey Huzar, top third of the lineup. From there, Carter Waits and Chris Hoyland, Sam Clement 4, 5, and 6. Matthew Hoppy, the senior third baseman. Parker Anderson, the junior designated hitter. Cody Waitson, the sophomore right fielder. Then Gage Hansen, after that, will be in the outfield playing left field. So Metzger, Osi, Huzar, Waitson, Hoyland, and Clement. Hoppy, Anderson, and Waitson. The second one is Cody here today. Lewison left with Easton Holland in center. Osmanstead will be in right. Peterson at third base with Everson at short. You'll have from there Thompson at second base, Macau at first, Pearson behind the plate, Lucas Christensen tanking the mound. Christensen so far has 11 pitches thrown and came in a 1-2-3 inning, able to get out of any particular harm in the 7th inning against the Lisbon Broncos and bookend that particular matchup back again on a Thursday. That's where we're at right now here on YourLiveEvent.com. Again, first time through the lineup here for Northern Cass as they get ready for this contest against Lucas Christensen. Central Cass, a comeback win over the Ball Stars, a comeback win over the Kenner Vikings, while for Northern Cass, a winner in 5 over the Enderlin Eagles, and then also a comeback win for them against the Lisbon Broncos for our first of 4 games, which feels like a while ago here at Starion Field or the Theraldson Complex Park. We're sitting on top of the perch at Starion Field, taking a look at Teamsters Field and Theraldson Complex as this one is delivered for a strike to Metzger. It's now 0-1. Metzger here in the tournament, 4 of 7 with 3 runs scored and 2 runs driven in. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Christensen, as this one will be hit on a one-hopper right to the third baseman. Peterson goes across, 5-3 on the putout, so able to put the ball in play, but Metzger is retired on 2 pitches, and there's 1 down. And going back into that outcome just a while ago for Central Cass and their comeback win, Christensen pitched awfully efficient in those 11 pitches to get 3 outs, which really gives him his full complement here today, as you had Friday, Saturday, as well for rest days for anybody else that you might have had from a Coach Maggio perspective, and similar results when it comes to Sam Johnson. You have anybody that needed an extra day or 2 to maybe have a chance to pitch in a game like this, well, you got it over the weekend. Now it's just about finding ways to get through this particular matchup for both teams and set yourself up in a really good spot the rest of the tournament. There is some bylaws in the Region 1 bracket, as the 2-1 pitch will be swung on and miss, that if you get to a certain date and the tournament just is unable to be finished, it would be the highest seed that is still remaining would make its way essentially towards the state championship. As this one's going to be a slow hopper that'll be underneath the third baseman's glove, and then Everson couldn't make the play. So you have an error on the play as that one will make its way for first base. So Peterson and Everson were both there as they both went after it. Trying to get in front was Peterson, then Everson just going to glove it as well. So an error on the play that'll allow the Central Cass Squirrels to have their first error of the game, something you don't want. But from a Northern Cass perspective, can you take advantage of the free extra out? As this one will go all the way back on the wild pitch. OC will now be into scoring position, as you'll see Trey Huzar. Huzar 1-0 is the count to the senior pitcher. Against the Lisbon Broncos, Trey really didn't take too many pitches. If he saw something in the zone, he was out swinging, got a sacrifice fly, able to bring in the game-winning hit with an opposite field base knock, as the Lisbon Broncos and the Oak Grove Grovers have taken the field now over at Helling. We'll keep you apprised of that game also on YourLiveEvent.com, as this one will run in miss. It'll be now 2-0. Had some technical difficulties over there earlier, hoping with the wireless system here in Fargo that everything can still make its way through, as had to make some adjustments throughout the course of the morning from what we are scheduled to be at Starion Field here for 4 games. Now trying to beat the weather, try to get 2 games in, as this is going to be a slow grounder to the second baseman, and that one is bobbled there by Thompson. As Thompson went to field it, it was in his glove, and then on the exchange from the mitt to the bare hand, with it being a little chilly out there, just bobbled the baseball, and now runners will be at the corners with just 1 out. So it'll be the second error of the inning here for Central Cass. And Christensen has made some good pitches. All of them have been on the ground. Metzger with a one-hopper to Peterson. Ossie hit one under the glove of Peterson, and then Everson just couldn't make the catch. And then from there, Thompson just on the exchange from the glove as the delayed steal. Huzar will get in a scoring position here with Carter Waitson. As you'll see Christensen here with the pitch upcoming. That's Christensen. Fires. This one's going to be hit up the first baseline. They'll go foul. So for Carter Waitson so far here in the tournament, 1 of 4 with a run driven in and 3 runs driven in with a run scored in 3 RBIs, a homer back against the Enderlin Eagles up in Hunter in their 5-inning win over the Eagles. Here's the pitch. This one will be hit high in the air. That'll go to the left fielder, giving a little bit of a chase in this one. That one's going to go all the way to the wall. That'll spit Hoyland and Lewis. Here comes the relay coming on in. It's 2 runs on the way here for Northern Cass, and it's a 2 RBI double for Carter Waitson as they have taken a 2-0 lead. That was barreled on the way there for Northern Cass as they've taken the first lead of the game on the Bank North scoreboard. OC comes in to score. Huzar comes in to score. And Northern Cass does indeed take advantage of those 2 errors with 2 runs across so far here in the first inning. I've always have said in any particular sport, but in baseball as well, if you get a chance to have a error or 2, really good teams will force you to find ways to eventually burst the pipe, so to speak, and that's exactly what Northern Cass was able to do there with runners in scoring position with a Waitson double. 2 RBIs as Hoyland takes a strike. The junior shortstop, the number 5 batter in the lineup here for Coach Sam Johnson. Hoyland 3 of 7 with a run scored and 4 runs driven in here in the tournament. Good spot again for Christensen. It's now 0-2. Pretty good barrel, the one hopper by Metzger, OC, and Huzar with some groundouts. That one was tattooed by Carter Waitson. The 0-2, that'll miss inside. It's now 1-2. Northern Cass and Central Cass, they have played in some classics here in the last couple of years of the Region 1 baseball tournament. Here's the 1-2 offering. 2 teams that made it all the way to the championship round last season. That'll miss low. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes, in which Central Cass won out in Castleton over the Jags. Jags have been knocking on the door in recent years. Just about can they put themselves in the best spot to make it to a state tournament as this one goes foul at 2-2. And then with Lisbon being new to the region this year, they're 1 win away from making it part of the final 3 teams left here, with Oak Grove in that matchup as well, an elimination game. This one misses inside. It's now 3-2. So the count will be full after a ground out, an air, and a double. Here's the payoff pitch from Christensen to Chris Hoyland. That'll miss. That one will be a walk on the way for Hoyland. So you'll have runners at first and second right now with the one down with Sam Clemmen, the senior first baseman. And Clemmen 1 of 2 in this tournament with a run scored and a run driven in here for Sam. On the Bank North scoreboard, trusted financial partner that's been around for generations, servicing both the Castleton, Central Cass, and Northern Cass Arthur Hunter school districts and towns and communities. 2-0 lead as this one missing outside. It's 1-0. Go to banknorth.bank. That again is banknorth.bank. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. The 1-0 pitch upcoming from Christensen. That'll be swung on. Now it's 1-1. Central Cass left a runner in scoring position in the top half of the first inning. We're here in the bottom half of the first inning right now for Northern Cass. They are trying to make Central Cass pay with those couple of runs with a bigger crooked number than 2. Is Sam Johnson going to come down and talk it over here with Sam Kleeman? Making sure Clemmen is all right as you'll have our umpiring crew coming out, making sure that he's good as well. As here comes the 1-1 offering here from Christensen. Christensen works from the stretch, takes a look back at the lead runner at second. 1-1. That'll miss out of the zone. It's now 2-1. As you'll see the 2-1 pitch from the senior first baseman in there for a strike. There by Christensen, now 2-2. The one thing that this is doing, the pitches are starting to mount a little bit here in this inning against Christensen after Hoyland drew a walk. Here comes a 2-2 count. This was going to be popped up, playable. That'll go to the center fielder as Holland will make the glove catch, and the lead runner will have to stay put there at second base, and Carter waits, and so there's a 2 down now here in the bottom of the first inning. So fly out to Holland will retire Clement. Now will be Hoppy, the senior third baseman. Batter number 7 in the lineup here for head coach Sam Johnson as the wind continues to howl in what our makeshift press box is today here on the perch at Tharaldson Park. Big swing. It swung on a miss. Now 0-1. So 0-1 upcoming here to the senior third baseman in Hoppy. That's Christensen. Sees this one in the dirt with Pearson. Jake Thompson mentioned back on Thursday, shouted out Cale in terms of what he's been able to do behind the plate in similar situations like that all season, just trying to smother the baseball. Here's the 1-1. Good spot in there for a strike, now 1-2. Well, for Christensen, your one good pitch out of the inning just to minimize it to 2 here. Get your offense back up to the plate. 1-2 pitch, breaking ball, got him, retired, and that'll retire the side, but not before Northern Cass does play 2 runs across on just 1 hit. There were 2 errors and 2 runners left on base. We have played we played 1 today here on your live event. Going to the second inning here on the Bank North scoreboard, it is a 2-0 lead for Northern Cass.
It's safe to say we have it pretty good in the Drayton, North Dakota area. Growing sugar beets, making sugar, bringing a little sweetness to the world. Every day, American Crystal Sugar produces sweet products people love in a place we love to call home. It's a thing we like to call the sweet life, and we're proud to share it with you. American Crystal Sugar's Drayton facility has recently started offering a $4 per hour shift differential for rotating shifts. Go to AmericanCrystalCareers.com for more information.
Take your softball or baseball skills to the next level with personalized instruction from the professional staff at the Ball Yard. Their mission is to provide area players, young and old, the opportunity to improve their skills in a professional level facility and to provide a high level of instruction to youth players to help them achieve their goals at the Ball Yard. Come and visit the one place in the Fargo-Moorhead area where it's always summer. For more information, go online to fmballyard.com. That's fmballyard.com.
Bottom of the first inning, Lisbon and Oak Grove scoreless. That game you can watch and listen with Josh Boyko up on yourliveevent.com as that one is going on over at Helling Field. Again, bottom of the first inning, that is a scoreless game over at Helling Field on yourliveevent.com. Winner of that makes its way to the final 3. Loser has their season come to a close in our final elimination game of the day here in the Region 1 baseball tournament. As you'll see 5, 6, and 7 batters here going up against Huszar, and this one swung on and missed to Pearson. It's now 0-1. Pearson in this tournament is 1 of 6 so far through 2 games for the Squirrels. As Huszar gets out in front now 0-2. Huszar 1 inning, a walk, a couple of strikeouts, struck out back-to-back batters to get out of the inning in the first. And make it 3 consecutive strikeouts here for Huszar and Northern Cass. And there's 1 down top of the second inning. As Jack Everson, the junior shortstop here for the Squirrels, 1 of 6 in the tournament with 4 runs scored, has taken a couple of hit-by pitches, gone on base as he stands right on top of home plate here. As this will be hit foul, and we'll make it 0-1. Huszar will climb back the mound right now for the Southpaw. The 0-1, that'll miss low. It's now 1-1 on the way. As you'll see, the righty here with the junior shortstop trying to get aboard with the base hit as this one is hit up the first base side. That'll go foul at 1-2. A leadoff walk by Keegan Peterson. Then Brody Kegley reached on a fielder's choice and eventually was stranded at second base for Central Cass back in the first inning. This will be hit in the air. That's a line drive that'll go over the shortstop. Here comes the left fielder to bring that one in as Hansen brings it in quickly, but a line drive base hit there for Jack Everson. And the Central Cass Squirrels with the runner on here in the top of the second inning. As you'll see, Ryan Osmonstead coming to the plate, and Ryan has hit himself a whale of a tournament so far for the sophomore. 5 of 7 with 4 runs driven in and a run scored. We'll look to keep that hop back going here. This one swung on and missed. It's now 0-1 as we look over at what the temperature and conditions are today here in Fargo. Currently 55 degrees, overcast skies, windy with some light rain as well that is kind of on and off again for the last, let's say, about hour or so, kind of tailing off late into that Lisbon Oaks game as Huszar delivers the 1-1. That'll be out of the zone at 1-2. Make that at 2-1, excuse me. So Jack Everson stands at first base. You got Ryan Osmonstead here. 2 balls and a strike. This will be hit on the ground and a high hop that's going to be picked up by the first baseman there, and Clement trying to get the double play, but they do get the lead runner. A nice little throw there to the shortstop, Hoyland. So Ryan Osmonstead will reach base on a fielder's choice. Everson is retired. That'll go 3-6 on the putout, and now it's going to be to Grayson Lewis, and there's 2 down. That took a high hop and really good job by Sam to time it almost at its apex, and then right when he gloved it, immediately went towards the shortstop, and Hoyland covering second base to get the lead runner, and there's 2 down. As Grayson Lewis, the junior left fielder, will be coming up here for the Squirrels. Lewis hits one up the third base side. That'll go foul. It's now 0-1 to the number 8 batter in the lineup here for Central Cass. Here's the 0-1 offering upcoming. Breaking ball right at the knee. That'll be in there for a strike. Good pitch there for Huszar as the 0-2 is upcoming, trying to strand a runner here on the bases yet again for Trey. The 0-2. On a miss out of the zone, it's 1-2. Lucas Christensen on the on deck, circling them back to the top of the lineup here for Central Cass. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That'll be fisted, and that's going to be a base knock into short right field as the right fielder then bobbles the ball as the runners will make their way to first and third after Cody waits and bobbled the ball a little bit. So Osmonstead will go first to third. Lewis will get the single on the way. Now the Central Cass Squirrels with a couple of base hits will have runners at the corners with 2 down. Good job by Lewis. That ran in a little bit on him, but had the muscle to jet that one over Osi at second base. Runners at the corners. Now it's to Lucas Christensen. And can Central Cass take advantage of this opportunity here in the second? Arkin Huszar close the door here on the Squirrels and get their bats to the plate and try to add on to what is already a 2-run lead. Thanks in part to a Waitson RBI double. As there's the pick play back to first. Sliding back again is Grayson Lewis. And particularly with the lefty on the mound sometimes can be a little bit more challenging at any level. But you don't want to run yourself out of a potential inning here if you're the Squirrels with 2 down. This one swung on. Now it's 1-1. For Lucas Christensen so far here at the plate. 1 of 3 with a run scored and a run driven in here in the tournament. The 1-1 swung on. Now it's 1-2. 4 batters to the plate in the top of the first inning. 5th batter to the plate here for the Squirrels. The 1 seed Northern Cass against a 2 seed Central Cass in the Region 1 baseball tournament. The 1-2 offering. That'll miss low. Now 2-2. Able to get these games in with the ever-changing schedules and having opportunities with different ball diamonds in Fargo. Is this going to be hit on the ground? Tough play, but the shortstop makes it look easy. Hoyland had to go deep in the hole, goes the short way to OC, 6-4 on the put-up, and that'll retire the side here in this one. There are no runs across. There was 2 hits, an error, and 1 runner left on base. We played an inning and a half on the Bank North scoreboard. It's still a 2-0 lead in favor of Northern Cass here on YourLiveEvent.com.
Since its beginning, the Central Cass Booster Club has generated and helped sustain fan interest in the men's and women's athletic programs at Central Cass High School. Through the years, that mission has brought in to also enhance the youth programs throughout the community. For more information, search Central Cass Booster Club on Facebook or email centralcassboosterclub@gmail.com. That's centralcassboosterclub@gmail.com. Go Squirrels!
As we get to our Dakota Heritage in-game update here today, update for you from Castleton for Region 1 softball between Kindred Richland and Hillsborough Central Valley, tied at 5 apiece going to the top of the 5th inning. Burrows 5, Vikings 5, top of the 5th. Winner makes their way to the winner's portion of the bracket against the Central Cass Squirrels upcoming tomorrow, which will be the championship game. If you lose that, then you still have a chance to come back through a state qualifier where Enderlin awaits the loser of the Burrows and the Vikings. But again, softball tied at 5 apiece between the Burrows and the Vikings. Region 2 baseball, Nelson County, Hatton Northwood. Nelson County currently trails against the Thunder, a 5-0 Hatton Northwood going to the top of the 5th inning. So the Thunder, if they can pick up a win, they would play Larimore later today up in Mayville. That, again, is an in-game update brought to you in part by Dakota Heritage Bank, as this one is going to be hit up the third base side, but that'll go foul. Go to dhb.bank. That, again, is dhb.bank. Dakota Heritage Bank, sharing their heritage and their future with locations in North Dakota and Minnesota. 8, 9, and 1 batters, Parker Anderson, Cody Waitson, and Mr. Metzger due up after that here for Northern Cass. If you're just joining us here, bottom of the 2nd inning, Chase Miller with you from Fargo. What has turned out to be a not-so-shabby middle of the afternoon currently, as this one is in there for a strike. Now 0-2. Fingers crossed that can stay the same for the next hour, hour and a half for the duration of this game and the duration of Oak Grove and Lisbon, which we'll keep you apprised of as well here in the Region 1 baseball tournament. Here's the 1-2 offering on the way here from Lucas. Christensen with 1 strikeout. Like to make it another one here and get back-to-back. This one able to do so. We're striking out Hoppy, able to strike out Anderson here to start things off in the bottom of the 2nd. Struck out Hoppy to finish off the 1st, and there's 1 down here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. For Central Cass, they will see Cody Wadeson now at the plate from a Northern Cass perspective. For Central Cass's Lucas Christensen. Cody 2 of 5 with a run driven in and 2 runs scored so far here in the tournament. Here for Cody, the sophomore right fielder, works with a hitter's count. 1-0 pitch here from Christensen. This would be up in the air. Chance for Thompson, who bobbles it. Was it made at first base by Muckow? And they're going to say the ball came off the bag a little bit there, off the glove of Muckow, as Thompson went to go glove it. As he gloved it, he was falling backwards, trying to keep balance through it, almost off the heel to Muckow. Muckow able to glove it, but not complete the catch on the play. As you'll get a runner on now here for Northern Cass, as you'll see Metzger, and essentially another almost free out, if you want to say that, here with another leadoff batter with Metzger. Metzger hits one into the backstop here that'll go foul into the netting. It's 0-1. High school baseball here today in Fargo. 2 ball diamonds, that's the good news. Able to get these games in, as the weather forecast did not look good. Roughly around 3 to 4, 4 to 5, depending on what you looked at yesterday throughout the morning and the afternoon of what this time frame would look like today. So the main reason why they moved up these games to say, let's play at 2 different diamonds and try to get at least these games in and go from 6 teams to 3 teams remaining, and then just see what Tuesday and Wednesday kind of have in store for the weather and the forecast here. But right now able to get the games, and that's the good portion for spring sports, similar to the Southeast Track and Field meet in Castleton over the weekend on Saturday. Not the greatest conditions by any means to run a track meet in what's overcast and 40-some degrees, similar to today, but you were able to get it in, and that's the most important thing. As this time of the season already saw some graduations over the weekend, open houses. Also from there, you're going to see a bevy as we make our way to Memorial Day weekend here. And then track and field, once you get to North Dakota, you can about pencil most, if not all, it just kind of feels like, but the word would be most graduations are kind of that Sunday after the third day of state track and field, where if you're a parent, you got to hustle back and get ready, see your son or daughter graduate from Bismarck, depending on how much travel you have. When do you have the open house always becomes a thing. And here's the offering on the way to Metzger. Good take. That'll miss out of the zone. As we work the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes on the way with the runner at first base again in Cody Waitson as Metzger, the senior center fielder, looking to see if he can put something in play. 2-2 pitch. This one goes foul. So that's part of it from the parental side. The other side from a school perspective is you have finals, you have different projects. Kids are out of school on a Monday. Might they be out of school again later in the week for state track and field, as this one's going to be hit on the ground. Thompson trying to get the lead runner. They do there. Nicely done, Thompson to Everson, 6-4. So Metzger reaches base on a fielder's choice, and there's 2 down here in the second inning. That's always part of it as well, trying to talk with athletic directors and school, seeing kind of what each they have. Sometimes you have different nominations or different auditions when it comes to school projects, and then same thing, your baccalaureate that could be going on. So there's a multitude of things that comes into schedules, much less of trying to find a ball diamond that is dry during this time of the season. There's 2 outs as this one is be hit in the air. That'll be into the outfield, going across and making the nice running across catch there is going to be Osmonstead right in front of Holland to retire the side. As we make our way to the top of the third inning on the Bank North scoreboard, it's still a 2-0 lead in favor of Northern Cass here on YourLiveEvent.com.
For trusted news, weather, and sports from your community, look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
There's more at 104. Hillsborough, North Dakota has everything you want in a hometown. Business opportunities, great jobs, and a top-notch school. Shovel-ready lots for your next idea. Great jobs in manufacturing, healthcare, and agriculture. An excellent education for your kids with small class sizes and lots of school spirit. Plus easy access to I-29 and the conveniences of North Dakota's largest cities. Build your future in Hillsborough and see why there's more at 104.
Broadcasting here today from the Farmers Union Insurance David Bergman Agency broadcast booth, servicing both the Foreman and Oaks communities and surrounding townships. You can get in touch with David at 701-724-6252. That's 701-724-6252. Broadcasting from the Farmers Union Insurance David Bergman Agency broadcast booth, your headquarters for home, auto, life, farm, and ranch, and more. You can get in touch with David Bergman in Foreman and Oaks, North Dakota. Speaking of the southwest portion of the Region 1 region, the Lisbon Broncos and the Oak Grove Grovers. Lisbon, the home team, they are currently scoreless. Bottom of the second inning, that game with Josh Moiko on YourLiveEvent.com. Again, bottom of the second inning, scoreless between Lisbon and Fargo Oak Grove. As we turn our attention now towards the top of the third, as the Squirrels will have their 1, 2, and 3 batters and second time through against Trey Huzar. Huzar, 2 innings of work, has given up 2 hits so far, a walk and 3 strikeouts, and he struck out the 3, 4, and 5 batters on top of that here for Northern Cass. As this will run in for a strike. As Keegan Peterson drew a 4-pitch walk his first time up, and Huszar's trying to get him down quickly here with a strikeout, and does. For a strikeout, Huszar's got the K, and there's one down here top of the third inning as it goes now to Kegley, who reached base on a fielder's choice his last time up. So one down here in the third inning as this game started back at 1:25 today on YourLiveEvent.com. We make our way through this Monday and just kind of see what weather has in stall, as the first time today we're starting to see some sun make its way through from the clouds. It's been mostly an overcast, kind of a drizzly day. The wind has consistently had a nice little gust to it, and if you get one into center or left field, you're going to get a little added benefit from a hitter with that baseball getting carried a little bit. It's 325 down the lines, 360 in the gaps, and 390 to straightaway center as Kegley falls behind the count. No balls and a strike. 0-1 fastball. That'll miss. It'll be 1-1. Region 2 baseball, Region 2 softball, Region 1 baseball, Region 1 softball, all in action today here on YourLiveEvent.com as this one runs out of the zone. It's now 2-1. Here's the 2-1 offering to the sophomore DH. That'll be in there for a strike at 2-2. As Huszar sees the 2-2 offering, that'll be hit right back to the pitcher. Huszar's going to have a tough play on this one as he slides and throws. Did we get him in time? Yes, he did. Oh, what a play by Huszar. Clement with the stretch, and there's 2 down. That was a tough play for any particular pitcher, but much less Huszar, who had to come back across his body as the lefty. A bang-bang play, and Kegley is retired at first, and there's 2 down. So mark that one for maybe a potential best play of the game going forward. A little defensive web gem here in the top of the third inning for Huszar and Northern Cass. 2 down as you'll see Jake Thompson, who struck out looking his last time up after working the count to 2-2. First pitch swinging as Jake. It's now 0-1. Huszar came in with 56 pitches so far, as this one is fouled back. It's now 0-2. So for Central Cass, it's how quickly can you get to that pitch count limit in the tournament. The way it looks as Northern Cass continues to have Huszar on the mound, is this one's going to be grounded to second baseman, able to go across the diamond there for OC to Clement, 4-3, and that'll retire the side. So 4 straight batters retired from Central Cass's perspective as we make our way to the bottom of the third. On the Bank North scoreboard, it's Northern Cass up by 2.
Halstead Telephone Company delivers fast broadband internet, telephone, and cable TV to residents in this region, including Halstead, Shelley, Neilsville, Climax, Fisher, Bigland, Gentilly in Minnesota, and Hillsborough, Caledonia, Gardner, and Argosville, North Dakota. Serving the area residents since 1904, Halstead Telephone continues to create a bright future for this region using 100% fiber optic technology. Service plans offer flexibility and choices, and there's local support personnel ready to help. Contact Halstead Telephone Company today.
Bottom of the third inning here on YourLiveEvent.com, as it will be the heart of the lineup here for Northern Cass, and Huszar, Waitson, and Hoyland coming up to the plates. Huszar reached base on an error. Waitson got a double, and Hoyland earned a walk here earlier today in the inning number 1, in which Northern Cass plated 2 runs thanks in part to a Carter Waitson 2 RBI double into left center field, and that has been the difference maker so far on the Bank North scoreboard. Carter Waitson, the senior catcher, someone who's had a lot of high praise when you talk with the coaching staff, head coach Sam Johnson, when you talk with teammates from Northern Cass in terms of what he's been able to do, as this one is going to be grounded and 1 pitch, and there's a sliding play by Mutkow. He was able to retire Trey Huszar 3 unassisted, and Mutkow was trying to make an own little web gem of his own. Nice backhanded play. beats out the hustling Trey, and there's one down here in the bottom of the third inning. Lucas Christensen, 2 innings of work. The one hit's been the double by the man coming up to the plate, and Carter Waitson, giving up a couple of errors, but a couple of runs, but those were via the errors from Central Cass in the infield, as this one's in there for a strike. It's 0-1. One walk and one strikeout today here for Christensen. The 0-1, that'll miss low, now 1-1. As Christensen sees the 1 ball, 1 strike pitch upcoming. Breaking ball in there for a strike. It's now 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and miss, and Christensen gets the strikeout, and there's 2 down here in the bottom of the third inning. So good breaking ball there from Lucas, as he has retired the last 4 batters. Update over at the Helling Field right now. It's still scoreless between Oak Grove and the Lisbon Broncos, as Hoyland earned a walk his last time up. This one's going to be hit on the ground. Muckow was trying to get there, but it's a C&I single. That'll go into right. Hoyland's able to get aboard here with a base knock. And with 2 down, see if Northern Cass can get something brewing here in the bottom of the third inning. It'll be just the second hit against Christensen. Bottom of the third inning between Oak Grove and Lisbon. It is scoreless between the Grovers and the Broncos. Bottom of the third. As you will have Sam Clement here, who flew out to Hoyland in center field to get the second out of the first inning. As Christensen sees this one hit on the ground, the runner was breaking. It will be now 0-1. As Christensen steps off the rubber here, recollects himself, and has a chance to get back going again as the foul ball just made its way up the third base side, as they will get help from one of the fans here today. Brought the lawn chairs, umbrellas, brought the blankets, brought everything to the ballpark. Possibly some hand warmers. Nice crowd, all things considered, especially for parents or those just with that normal 8 to 5 job. Maybe you're your own boss, or you have to tell a boss, hey, can we play a little hooky? Your son's playing a little baseball. As this one's going to be hit in the air to left, and that one is going to be cut right to Lewis, and that'll be the third out of the inning. So a line drive out to retire the side here as Sam Clement hits a rocket, but right to Lewis. So there was no runs ahead, no errors, and a runner left on base. We have played 3 today on the Bank North scoreboard. It's Northern Cass 2, Central Cass coming to the plate with 0 runs here on your liveevent.com.
At Abra Auto Body and Glass in Grand Forks, they make sure your vehicle gets the best standard of care to get it back on the road as quickly as possible. Lonnie and his team are some of the most highly trained in the industry. With state-of-the-art technology and superior products, your vehicle will leave in great condition. With their drive-in claims area, the process is smooth and easy. Let Abra Auto Body and Glass in Grand Forks provide you and your vehicle with premium care and attention. Open 8 to 5:30 Monday through Friday. Abra Auto Body and Glass of Grand Forks.
This is Chris from Agassiz Precision Ag, your local precision planting dealer. Say thank you to the farmers you come into contact with every day. They have chosen a career that is as much their deep passion as it is an absolute necessity for you and I. Spring is upon us and there will be farm equipment on the roads. Give them your patience and room to do their jobs. Trust me, they would rather be off the road working in their field than dealing with traffic. From all of us here at Agassiz Precision Ag, we say thank you and have a safe spring.
Update from Castleton, Hillsborough Central Valley 7, Kindred Richland 5 when it comes to the Region 1 softball tournament. You can watch that with Jake Berkemeyer. But the Burros lead by 2 going to the top of the 6th inning over the Vikings of the Region 1 softball tournament again. That is with Jake Berkemeyer on yourliveevent.com. As we go to the top of the 4th inning, Muckow, Pearson, and Everson, 4, 5, and 6 batters here for the Central Cass Squirrels. We've seen over the years the loser of this game has had opportunities to play the winner, as this one will be in there for a strike. It's now 0-1. As there'll be 1 ball, 1 strike on the way here for Huszar. Check swing, did he go? They're going to appeal and ask, and they're going to say yes, he did. So Noah went through the zone. It's 1-2. But as we were alluding to earlier, you've had chances throughout the course of the seasons and over the years as this one will run in and hit Noah right at the ankle. So a hit by pitch. Huszar with a walk and a hit by pitch with a couple of free passes. And you've seen the team that has lost has had a chance to come back, but the problem becomes you have to pitch at least one more game. You might end up burning one arm or using a guy for an appearance that can no longer come back. So it's the old chess part of the coaching strategy when it comes to this particular baseball tournament over the course of the season and of the week of how many pitchers do you want to throw in a game? What are you going to think that weather could or could not impact someone's in terms of appearances? As bunting this one is Pearson. That goes foul again. Top of the 6th inning, it's HCV 7, Kindred 5 on YourLiveEvent.com. Burrows up in that one thanks to Travis Lamar helping us out in Castleton for both the Southeast Regional Track and Field Meet, hosting the softball diamond, and my guess, EDC softball could be coming back to Castleton again this coming weekend. Last year was supposed to be at Mickelson Field in downtown Fargo, but they had a similar week like this where it just kind of rained and drizzled all week, so they had to go out to Castleton to play the weekend series. We'll have EDC softball on YourLiveEvent.com, and it's a similar situation as Huszar paying attention to the runner at first as Macau able to get back in one more time. That's scheduled to be Friday, Saturday in Mickelson Field, but they will have it again in Castleton if needed. You got turf, it's going to get used. That's the one thing we know when it comes to spring sports is this one misses. Now 1 ball and 1 strike. Seen a lot of baseball diamonds regionally for a regional one, not everyone, but we've seen a lot of them go to having maybe a home plate, a pitching mound that could be turfed, as this is a high pop-up. That'll go down the first base side, giving some chase towards it, and that'll go foul. Almost into the crowd here today. Top of the 4th inning. When we've seen Castleton all turf now when it comes to baseball. We've seen Kindred have both turf when it comes to home plate, the dugout up the first and third base lines. Seen the Lisbon Broncos add turf to their facility as they have turf now both at home plate and also on the mound. Just one of those areas that one less thing to kind of work on, and also, you know, it's good to go when it does get to a little rain, possibly a little bit of snow, trying to collect the footing as best as possible. Here's the 1-2 pitch up coming to Pearson. Well, check swing, and Pearson will stay alive. And one thing with the hit by pitch to Noah, and now where we are here in this particular one, Huszar's got about getting closer to about 17, 18 pitches remaining here before he is done for the tournament, as this one missing low. So if you're Central Cass, even if you don't get on base, but you take 7, 8 pitches here, if you're Pearson and Everson, you could try to run Huszar out of the game in this top of the 4th inning, potentially, where Huszar would like to get a double play as this one is popped up. That'll go out of play and over the stands here in Teamsters Field, as we'll keep it at 2-2. So no matter the outcome for Pearson right now, if he can keep fouling off a couple of pitches, run that pitch count up, and Huszar is going to be potentially done here in this top of the 4th. 2-2. This one will be a strike 3 looking in. That'll be the 5th strikeout for Huszar, but a good at-bat again there by Pearson, working through after falling behind the count 1-2, fouled a couple pitches off. Now it goes to Everson, as Everson hit a single his last time up. Part of 2 singles in the 2nd inning for the Central Cass Squirrels, as Huszar looks back the runner at first. This one's going to be jammed, popped, and that'll go foul yet again. So the Squirrels have been able to get some contact against Trey here, but Pearson and Everson just been the foul ball variety. As Huszar from the stretch, this will be hit on the ground. That'll go foul up the third baseline now, 0-2. Hansen in left with Metzger in center. Cody Waitson in right field. Hoppy at third base with Hoyland at short. OC at second, and Clement stands at first with Carter Waitson behind the plate. This will be fouled, and so far Jack Everson's able to time him up with 3 consecutive fouls. 2 that have gone behind home plate, 1 that went right between Coach Justin Maggio on the third base side for a foul ball. This one will miss out of the zone now, 1-2. Region 2 baseball tournament moved back from Saturday to Monday. Those games in Mayville State currently going on yourliveevent.com. 6 teams in the region that made its way to Mayville State. 1-2 is going to be hit on the ground, and we'll do it all over again. As Thompson and Larimore earned the number 1 and number 2 seeds in Region 2. In Region 3, the number 1 seed, Lemoore, Litchfield, Marion, and Edgeley. They got a date with Carrington upcoming. That game is scheduled for tomorrow. Kidder County awaits then the loser of New Rockford, Cheyenne, as they're going to be that 2-3 matchup there with New Rockford, Cheyenne. You can check out the complete bracket again on yourliveevent.com. 5 teams there in that Region 3 portion. Here's the pitch by Huzar as the wind gusts continue to bellow up here a little bit. This is going to be playable for the first baseman. A nice catch up the first base side there for Clement, as the wind that's blowing in from that area, so the wind kept it in play to allow Sam to hustle after it right in front of the dugout, and there's going to be 2 down. On a normal day, that one might have got over the fence and had a chance maybe not to have it there for Sam, but the wind helped it, kept it in, and now there's still a runner at first after the hit by pitch to Noah. He's been there. Ryan Osmonstead foul tips this one back. It's now 0-1. As Trey Huzar right now trying to work through this 4th inning for Northern Cass. As you'll see, the runner at first with Noah being held down by Sam. Huzar has paid a little bit of attention here and there to Noah, trying to have a pickoff play or possibly just stepping off the mound as we see it there. Here's the 0-1. That'll miss. Waits and pickoff. That'll be off the glove of Sam, even if he did catch it cleanly. Getting back, no problem was Noah. Now it's going to be 1 ball and 1 strike. Lefty-righty matchup. Batter number 7 in the lineup here for the Squirrels. And Huzar got him out in front a little bit there on the curveball. Now 1-2. Grayson Lewis on the on-deck circle. 2 hits against Trey. Everson and a Lewis single back in the second. 1-2 pitch, and Huzar gets the strikeout. That one into the glove of Carter behind the plate to retire the set. And 6 strikeout there for Trey Huzar. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and a runner left on base here in the top of the 4th inning on the Bank North scoreboard. It's Northern Cass up by 2 as we make our way to the bottom half of the frame on yourliveevent.com.
North Dakota All-Star Gathering on Your Live Event, as we'll cover the Shields Softball All-Star Series on June 2nd and 3rd.
This will be hit and over the shortstop Berg into left center field. A run comes in to score with Alexander Rapp.
Optimist Volleyball Series June 16th and 17th.
Blue outside Linsinger with another hammer.
Plus, the Lions All-Star Basketball Series on July 14th and 15th.
Baldwin finds Wick. Wick open, 3-pointer coming. Yes, sir!
For more information, go to yourliveevent.com.
Partnership is a way of life here in the Northland. It's about pitching in to help our neighbors, making lending decisions locally, honoring long-term commitments to farmers, Main Street businesses, teams, schools, and rural communities. We're more than just a bank. We're a community partner, working constantly and diligently to enrich the lives of everyone we serve. Bank North, always true.
Bottom of the 4th inning here on yourliveevent.com as we check in at the Region 2 softball tournament. Mayport CG 18, Pembina County North scoreless in the top of the 4th inning. That again is the Region 2 softball tournament in Mayville. They still have a elimination game yet to be played later today between those 2 teams. As we head also to Region 2 baseball here with a quick look in a moment, as you will see 7, 8, and 9 batters, Hoppy, Anderson, and Cody Waits, and as Christensen on for his 4th inning of work here for the Squirrels. This one getting out of the way is Hoppy. Struck out back in the first inning, looking 0 for 1 so far at the plate. As Christensen right now works behind the count check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. Now 2-1. Christensen with 3 strikeouts in the game. Able to get 1 in the first, second, and the third so far. This one will be out of the zone now, 3-1. 2 runs across for Northern Cass in the bottom of the first inning. That has been the difference so far here on the Bank North scoreboard. 3-1 offering in there for a strike good spot. It's now 3-2. Bottom of the 6th inning up in Mayville. Hatton Northwood over Nelson County 8-0. The Thunder can hang on. They'll have a date with the Polar Bears of Larimore later this afternoon at Mayville State. The 3-2 pitch. That'll miss just out of the zone. Hoppy will draw a walk. Second free pass by Christensen. That's the first walk since Chris Hoyland drew one back in the first inning for Northern Cass, and there's a runner on, and we'll see what Parker Anderson, the junior designated hitter, is asked to do in this particular spot where runs have been hard to come by here between Christensen and Huszar. And Huszar essentially will have just about a batter left once we get to the 5th inning before he will run out of his total pitches in the tournament. As this one is going to be bunted. Slipping there is going to be the pitcher, and that just opened up the door. And unfortunate for Christensen on his plant leg, he just slipped. So by the time it got by him, there was really nothing Noah Muckow could do. And you'll see Hoppy to second base. And now runners will be at first and second on the way here in the bottom of the 4th inning. And even if Noah does make that, just by the time Jake at second base will have to go cover first, not much you would have been able to do. So you put the ball in play as Christensen came through on that plant leg and just kind of went down. And unfortunate there, again, from a Central Cass perspective. And it's been one of those games where there's just been a couple of errors in the first inning that came back and haunted Central Cass in a play like that. You just wonder sometimes, is it your day? But at the end of the contest here, we'll see what happens as Christensen, your one good pitch from possibly turning 2, trying to keep the damage here still to 2 runs on that scoreboard as Cody Waitson reached base with an error his last time up back in the 2nd inning. 0 for 1 here today in this one, then back to top of the lineup here for Northern Cass. Jags got something brewing here, bottom of the 4th inning. Christensen looks to see the bunt coming through, and that will be in there for a strike. A big curveball, as you saw Muckow immediately charging from first base, trying to, if that bunt does come, to get the lead runner at third where Peterson is standing. You have Everson keeping the runner close at second at short, and Thompson again at second base. Here's the 0-1. That'll miss. Pearson behind the plate. Holland in straightaway center. Got Lewis in left and Osmondstead in right here today. Another update for you from baseball. Lisbon with 5 runs in the bottom of the 3rd inning as they take a 5-0 lead over Fargo Oak Grove. 1-1 pitch bunted. This one will go foul. Now it's 1-2. So again, the Lisbon Broncos 5, the Oak Grove Grovers scoreless after 3. So if Lisbon can hold on there, they would find themselves in a game later in the week against the loser of this contest to try to make the Region 1 championship. So we'll get you a quick update from Castleton as well with another softball game that's nearing the end between the Burros and the Vikings. Here's the 1-2 offering from Christensen. This will be hit on the ground, backhanded there by the third baseman. They get 1, a chance for 2. No, not in time. Really good play by Peterson, backhanded, made sure he got the lead runner there, and then went for the secondary runner at second base. So Hoppy's retired. Parker Anderson stands at second. Cody Waitson reaches on a fielder's choice. And now there's going to be 1 down here in the top of the bottom of the 4th inning. But a really good play by Peterson again at third to backhanded. Make sure you step on third base. And he threw a missile over to Everson at shortstop, who nearly was able to get Anderson at second for a double play. This one will miss out of the zone to Metzger. It's now 1-0. Metzger is 0 for 2 today reached base on a fielder's choice his last time up, then hit a one-hop grounder to Peterson at third back in the first inning. Looking to bunt. This one works out of the zone. It's now 2-0. Top of the seventh inning, Hillsborough Central Valley still leads Kinder Richland in softball 7-5. If that score holds, the Vikings would play the Eagles then in a elimination game upcoming tomorrow, where then the Burros and the Squirrels would play in the Region 1 championship, with the loser then heading to a state qualifier game tomorrow. Again, that is scheduled for tomorrow out in Castleton as well. So that game wraps up. There will be 3 games left out in the Region 1 softball tournament. As this is going to be hit on the ground, foul. That will be 2-1. The good news is for baseball fans, players, and coaches, as much as it has been a roller coaster of trying to find out when and where games will be, the nice thing is you're able to get games in here today, and it just gets a little bit closer to wrapping up the tournament, find out who's going to go to the north side of Fargo when it comes to the State B baseball and softball tournaments. Here's the 2-1 offering, looking to bunt, breaking ball in there. We've seen both Cody Wadeson and now Metzger look to bunt at particular times and bring the bunt back. And there's that big curveball thrown by Christensen. He's located it for strikes. So after falling behind the count, 2-0, it's now 2-2 with the pitch here from Christensen. This will be hit in the air, and that will drop in front of the center fielder. Holland will come in. Holland makes the throw to third base, finds the relay, but not going to be in time. It's an RBI single on the way here for the Northern Cache Jags, with the leadoff batter in Metzger coming in to score. It's going to be Parker Anderson from second base. Cody Wadeson goes from first to third, and Metzger makes his way to second. It's now 3-0 here for the Jags. Metzger with a third run driven in here for Northern Cass of the game. First one since the bottom half of the first inning. And here comes a straight suicide squeeze. They get the runner out there, and now they'll have a chance for the double play. A straight suicide squeeze that goes right in the glove of Peterson. Breaking immediately from third base was Cody Wadeson. OC popped it up. Peterson was there, goes to Everson, and that'll be the double play on the 5-6 on the squeeze. But Northern Cass does score one run here in the bottom of the fourth inning on the Bank North scoreboard, but the squeeze goes back and, well, potentially, we'll see if it does haunt a Northern Cass later in this game. Regardless, Northern Cass does add a run as they lead it by 3 on your liveevent.com.
No. That there are several different types of crop hail insurance policies. Hi, this is Bethany Rentz, crop insurance agent with Irie Insurance. We at Irie Insurance want to help you select a hail policy that will best protect your crops and bottom line from a hailstorm. Give us a call today to schedule a time to meet with an Irie Insurance agent. For our contact information, go to our website at irieins.com.
You're protected and appreciated at Irie.
Irie Insurance is an equal opportunity provider.
There's a new inventory of trailers at Bloomfield Enterprises of Hillsborough. You can see the latest inventory online at bloomfieldtrailers.com. Bloomfield Enterprises has a full line of Big Tex trailers. Big Tex has affordable and versatile utility trailers for all your jobs. Big Tex has a full line of products from ATV trailers to gooseneck to dump trailers and more. Call Larry at 218-368-7989 or Tim at 701-430-0877. Bloomfield Enterprises in Hillsborough.
Broadcasting today from the Farmers Union Insurance David Bergman Agency broadcast booth here on our perch at Starry on Field in Fargo. You can get in contact with David Bergman Agency by simply calling 701-724-6252. That again is 701-724-6252. Not all products are underwritten by Farmers Union Insurance, with David Bergman Agency servicing both the Foreman Oaks and surrounding communities. Today here on your liveevent.com as we make our way here to the top of the fifth inning update over at Hellingfield, bottom of the fourth. Lisbon with a 5-0 advantage over the Fargo Oak Grove Grovers. Again, 5-0 Lisbon in the elimination game over Oak Grove with Josh Boyko on your liveevent.com. As Lewis hit a single his last time up, here's the 1-0 pitch from Huzar. That one will be delivered for a strike. It's now 1-1. Here's the 1-1 offering. That'll miss, or excuse me, that'll be in there for a strike at 1-2. As you'll see, Grayson Lewis behind the count. This will miss. That one will be in there for a strike. A delayed strike 3 call, excuse me. So Huzar gets the strikeout. And Sam Johnson comes out and looks at the pitch count and knew that that was going to be the last one that Trey had to throw. So Huzar will finish with back-to-back strikeouts and striking out 3 of the last 4 batters. It'll be 7 strikeouts, and then we'll get to 1 down here in the 5th inning. But with his pitches against the Lisbon Broncos back on Thursday and what he did here in this one, he will run into his pitch count total. So we will get to a new pitcher upcoming here, and we'll let you know who it is and some of the defensive changes upcoming here in a moment on your LiveEvent.com.
The Rumble on the Red, Ellingson Companies and Gerdau Metals Recycling is coming to West Fargo, North Dakota. The World of Outlaws Nos Energy Drink Sprint Cars come to the Red River Valley Speedway on Saturday, May 31st. Tickets are available now at slspromotions.com or by calling 815-344-2023.
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
Final in Castleton for softball. Hillsborough Central Valley defeats Kindred Richland 8-5 here today. So the Burros will play the Central Cass Squirrels in the Region 1 championship, while the Kindred Richland Vikings will have to beat Enderlin, and then the loser of that championship game to make it to state for the defending state champs when it comes to Class B softball. So again, the Burros beat the Vikings by a final of 8-5 out in Castleton. Take a look at this one. Metzger will go from center field to now on the mound, while Huzar will go from the mound to center field on the straight switch. Trey Huzar, 4 1/3 innings, 2 hits, no runs, gave up a walk and a hit by pitch, and then 7 strikeouts here in this one. As Metzger last pitched against the Lisbon Broncos back on Thursday, 3 1/3 innings, gave up 5 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts in the game. So they will try to switch places between Metzger and Huzar, where Trey closed the book on Lisbon. That's what Metzger is going to be asked to do here against the Squirrels. Lucas Christensen 0 for 1 today here in this contest, as Metzger now with 47 pitches after having 2 of them here to Christensen. So second appearance here for Metzger in the tournament. This one will be right at the zone. In there for a strike. Then goes back to the top of the lineup for the Central Cass Squirrels. So 2 balls and a strike upcoming here from Metzger. Metzger sees a swung on and missed by Christensen, now 2-2. Metzger, 2-2 pitch. This one went through the zone. Yes, he did. Christensen couldn't quite keep it on the shoulder. Is that one in there for a strike? And back-to-back strikeouts here for Huzar and Metzger as it goes now to Keegan Peterson. And from a Northern Cass perspective, you don't want to hear Keegan's name again at the plate. That means you've done everything you've needed to do, trying to minimize batters coming to the plate. Well, if you're Central Cass, can you get something brewing here with 2 outs in the 5th? And now all of a sudden you go from the lefty of Huzar to a righty of Metzger here. Metzger coming in and throwing a couple of straight strikes. It's now 0-2. Keegan sees this one just out of the zone. 1 ball, 2 strikes on the way. Who's 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout here for Keegan. This one will be swung on and miss, and they will strike out the side between Metzger and Huzar here in the 5th inning as the wind picks up here in the top of the 5th as we make our way to the bottom half on the Bank North scoreboard. Northern Cass 3, Central Cass scoreless on your LiveEvent.com.
There's more at 104. Hillsborough, North Dakota has everything you need on your next road trip: food, fuel, fun, and family-friendly activities. Stop by and fill up your tank or grab a bite to eat. Have a blast at Goose River Golf Club, the swimming pool, or one of our beautiful parks. There's even ice skating and cross-country skiing. Take in the sights or stay the night so you don't miss a thing. Experience Hillsborough and see why there's more at 104.
Since its beginning, the Central Cass Booster Club has generated and helped sustain fan interest in the men's and women's athletic programs at Central Cass High School. Through the years, that mission has broadened to also enhance the youth programs throughout the community. For more information, search Central Cass Booster Club on Facebook or email centralcassboosterclub@gmail.com. That's centralcassboosterclub@gmail.com. Go Squirrels!
As we will send the 3, 4, and 5 batters to the plate here for Northern Cass in the 5th inning. As you will have Trey Huzar coming up. This one is foul for Trey, as Trey is 0 for 2 today. He reached base on an air back in the first with a run scored. Then nice play by Noah Mutkow at first base to get Trey out at first on a two-hopper that went to Mutkow away from the first base side, as this one will be hit to straightaway center field. Coming in, whoa, what a snagging play potentially by Holland. Holland gets up, throws it to Peterson, applies a tag, not in time. Holland with an absolute dive on the play to try to make that play. He left it all out there, got a couple of grass stains on top of it, and then Holland had the wherewithal to quickly get back up and then try to make a throw over to a shortstop where Everson, was covering. Not going to be in time, and that'll be a base knock there for Trey Huzar, a double on the way. And you'll see Lucas Christensen now having to work again with the runner on and in scoring position here for Northern Cass. Off speed, this one will be a one-hopper that's going to go off the glove of the third baseman, and they try to shovel it back there as well, and this one will go off of Peterson on the backhand, and the big hop just went off the glove of Peterson, so Huzar will make his way to third. Carter Waitson will make his way on base via the air. That was hit about a half a foot where Peterson was just standing at third base, just had to go a little bit up towards the third base line and backhand, and as he did, unable to bring that one in. Now you'll have runners at first and third with 2 down here in the bottom of the 5th inning. As you'll see, Northern Cass coming to the plate. As you'll have Hoyland looking to bunt, able to do so. This one's going to be tight. They will go home, and this time Northern Cass able to successfully utilize the squeeze. Huzar comes in. Hoyland with the sacrifice. Carter Waitson goes to second base here. And now it's a new score on the Bank North scoreboard with 1 out. Northern Cass has a 4-0 lead here. And this time the squeeze play does work after having a double play back in the 4th inning in a similar spot. This one in there for a strike. Sam Clement, who's 0 for 2 today with a flyout and a line drive out variety for the senior first baseman. But Northern Cass back-to-back innings where they've put up a run on Central Cass. 2 runs in the first, a run in the 4th, and a run in the 5th here. And Lucas Christensen has done his best today on the mound. Just some of the plays that we saw earlier from Trey Huzar, you're about a half foot from an out, instead of being a double to open up the inning. As this is going to be a fly ball, that'll be hit down the left field side, right to the left fielder, as Lewis will look back, the runner at second, able to make the catch. Sometimes in a game of football or basketball, I just might say the ball just doesn't bounce your way sometimes, and it could be similar here in baseball, where you hit it into Bermuda's Triangle between shortstop, left field, and right field. You just hit it at the perfect spot, a CNI single here. And it can just be your kind of a way sometimes, as Clement is retired. Now it's to Hoppy. Hoppy first pitch swinging. He will hit one right back. Here comes the shortstop. Not going to be in time. Everson made a charge on it with the throw. Hoppy hustling up the first base side. Carter Wadeson will get to third base, and now you'll have an infield single with runners at the corners and 2 down. Parker Anderson, 1 of 2 with a single and a run scored today, coming up here for Northern Cass. So runners at the corners right now here for the Jags. As you'll see, Miller, Casson Miller at third base with the courtesy runner here for Carter Wadeson. And at first base, again, will be Hoppy. Christensen trying to minimize the damage to just 1 run here in the inning. As able to deliver a strike, it's now 0-1 here to Parker Anderson. So no balls and a strike upcoming to the number 8 batter here in the Northern Cass lineup. Here's the 0-1 offering as a delayed steal going in. Will be Hoppy into second base now for the Jags. As you'll have the 0-1 pitch. That's Christensen. Sees this. I'll miss out of the zone at 1 ball and 1 strike. And pretty much the pitcher catcher in the infield on that last one by Hoppy getting to second said, you can gladly take second base. We're going to try to get this last out of the inning right now and focus in on Parker Anderson. 1-1 pitch. That'll be 1-2. Lisbon Broncos had 3 more runs as they have an 8-0 lead after 4. So Lisbon again leads it by 8 as we go to the top of the 5th inning with Josh Boyko also here at Tharaldson Park, Tharaldson Complex. Strike 3 looking, and Christensen gets the 4th strikeout to retire the sign in Anderson, but not before a run does come across. As Northern Cass does leave 2 as we make our way to the top of the 6th inning here on YourLiveEvent.com. It's the Central Cass Squirrels down by 4 coming to the plate.
Growers, prepare your fields and yields against the wet conditions for 2025 and beyond with a drain tile project from Chad's Excavating out of Mayville. Drain tiling will improve and increase your yields and land values for years to come. Chad's Excavating provides free, detailed estimates, and with over 40 years of combined success, they provide professional installation and service. Call Chad today to prepare for your future and any questions that you might have. That's Chad's Excavating out of Mayville, helping farmers grow.
Sharing our heritage, sharing our future. Choosing the right bank for your financial needs can be challenging with the many choices available. Dakota Heritage Bank is pleased you're interested in knowing more about what they can do for you. The Dakota Heritage Bank community bank setting is a strong advantage they have over larger, less personal banks. Customers are more than account numbers, they are friends and neighbors. Working together, Dakota Heritage Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Stop on out to Watts Ace Hardware in Castleton and gear up with name brands from Steel, Milwaukee, Ego, and Craftsman Power Tools. Plus, Watts Ace Hardware has a key cutting and paint mixing section for your own do-it-yourself projects. From their grill selection with Traeger, Blackstone, Weber, and the Big Green Egg to their customer laser engraving center, Watts Ace Hardware is a place you need to check out. Stop in at 1610 Governor's Drive in Castleton for Watts Ace Hardware.
Top of the 6th inning, first pitch. Kegley fouls one back here for the sophomore designated hitter. Kegley, Thompson, and Muckow going up against Metzger. 2/3 of an inning came on with a strikeout of Christensen and a strikeout of Peterson to end the 5th. This one will miss inside. Now 1-1 on the way. There's the number 1 seed right now. Northern Cass leads the number 2 seed Central Cass 4-0. As this off-speed pitch be out of the zone here at 2-1. Right now for the Squirrels, all about base runners. This was the inning that they put 6 runs across against the Lisbon Broncos back on Thursday. 6 runs in the 6th, against the Kindred Vikings back on Thursday, as Northern Cass had a comeback of their own in the 5th and the 6th inning against the Lisbon Broncos, and that's what you needed if you're a Central Cass fan. Get a runner on and see what you can do here in the 6th. You don't need them all in this inning, but a 1 run or even 2 runs could possibly go a long way in the 7th. Now it's a Jake Thompson 0 for 2 today with a strikeout and a ground out here for the Squirrels. Thompson will take a strike. It's now 0-1. As Kegley takes his lead off of first. Here's the pitch from Metzger. This one is going to be foul back. Now 0-2. Seen 2 games so far in this Region 1 baseball tournament. As going all the way back to the backstop there is going to allow the runner in Kegley to make its way to second base on the swing and miss, and then can't be gloved there by Carter Waitson. 2 games again for Thompson, 2 home runs, trying to make it 3 for 3 or try to at least get an extra base hit. Plate Kegley, who stands at second. And this one miss low out of the zone. As you'll see, this Region 1 baseball tournament, after the conclusion today of these 2 games, make its way down to 3 teams still remaining, as this is going to be grounded. That'll go to the third baseman, who looks back to runner Hoppy, throws it across. Does a nice job on that one, does Hoppy, as he gloved it. And as he immediately gloved it, he looked back to see where Kegley was, ran him back to second, then able to turn his chest and fire over to Clement. 5-3 on the putout, and there's 1 down. As you will see, Noah Muckow now coming up. Was hit by a pitch his last time up in the 4th inning. 0 for 1 with a strikeout here today for Noah. As you will see Metzger, 1 inning of work so far, as he will talk it over with Carter Waitson, broadcasting today from the Dakota Heritage Bank broadcast team today with a Dakota Heritage Bank in-game update. Go to Dakota Heritage Bank. Go to dhb.bank. And again, it's dhb.bank, sharing their heritage and their locations in North Dakota and Minnesota with Dakota Heritage Bank. Softball update from earlier in the day. Central casts over the Enderlin Eagles. Hillsboro Central Valley able to defeat the Kindred Richland Vikings. So you'll have the Burros and the Squirrels in the Region 1 title, as Enderlin and the Vikings then will play in an elimination game, with the winner going to a state qualifier against either the loser of the Burros or the Squirrels. That's an in-game update brought to you in part by Dakota Heritage Bank. Here's the 2-0 pitch from Metzger. That'll be a fly ball. That'll go to Trey Huzar, as Huzar camps underneath it, trying to get the throw then to third and staying put. Will be the runner at second, and Kegley, and Muckow is retired. As there's 2 down now here in the 6th. As you'll see, Pearson coming to the plate. 0 for 2 here today. Central Cass currently down to their final 4 outs as it stands right now on the Bank North scoreboard. Pearson 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts, 1 swinging and 1 looking. Metzger with the pitch, able to get a strike now, 0-1. So Kegley with the leadoff walk, able to get to second after a Thompson swing, missed the ball, but so did Carter Waitson behind the plate. That's how he stands at second base, as this was a hanging breaking ball. It's going to be hit in the air. That'll be down for a base knock, and the Central Cass Squirrels will get on the board, as they will be an RBI single on the way here for Central Cass with Pearson, and Central Cass now trails it by 3. So a nice piece of hitting there from Kale. Coming in to score is Kegley. First run of the game for the Squirrels. Pearson gets a run across. That'll be the first hit against Metzger. Run comes in, and now it's a 4-1 contest with Jack Everson. As we mentioned earlier, a run or 2 would definitely be nice from the Squirrels' perspective here. If you're trying to mount a comeback, as this one misses outside 1-0. Still, Northern Cass has a chance to add to it in terms of their 4-run advantage here in the bottom half of the frame, but 1 run across, and can the carousel continue for the Squirrels? Is this going to be hit on the ground? That'll go to the third baseman, Hoppy. Hoppy throws it across to Clement in time for the putout, and that'll retire the side. But for Central Cass, they do score a run on a hit. No errors and a runner left on base. We have played 5.5 today on the Bank North scoreboard. It's Northern Cass 4, Central Cass 1 on your LiveEvent.com.
Stay Up today all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the three-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. Three, good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
Bottom of the sixth inning, a new score, 4-1. Central Cass does again plate one run in the top half of the sixth, but for the Jags, they will be sending their 9-1 and 2 batters to the plate here as Lucas Christensen on for his sixth inning of work for the Central Cass Squirrels. Chase Miller with you. A reminder still to come. We'll get to our post-game show brought to you in part by Norman County Raceway and the Red River Valley Speedway. Take a look at the final numbers in this one, get to our player of the game, and then get you ready for what the last couple of games of the Region 1 Baseball Tournament have in store later this week on yourliveevent.com. As Christensen pumps over a strike. Now 0-1 here to Waitson. As Waitson able to reach base a couple of times, once on a fielder's choice and once on an error. As this one will be another one across as we got some gloves and papers flying around here with a little gust of wind. As this one will miss out of the zone. Now 1 ball and 1 strike. Kind of a makeshift meteor row here. Fortunate, really, that Fargo Post for 100 has this nice little platform up the first base side. It's a great view of the middle part of Fargo here. From 42nd, you can see it all the way through kind of towards 45th Street. And we'll see a nice variety with the Red River Valley Zoo and kind of what you have here. So a nice platform, and particularly when you got to cover a game at Teamsters Field right behind it. But this will be a walk on the way to Wadeson. Be the third free pass for Lucas Christensen and the Jags with a runner on here in the sixth. Northern Cass has at least had a 1 runner on in every inning here today. As it now goes to Metzger with a run driven in his last time up in the fourth with a single. Metzger looking to bunt. This one is bunted down. Able to play this Christensen. It is a sacrifice bunt variety. So Metzger is retired. Waitson will make his way to second base. Now OC coming up to the plate. OC reached base on an error with the run scored in the first. Went for a suicide squeeze and hit into a double play. His last time up in the fourth, he will take a strike. It's 0-1. But a good, fortunate that Starion Field has a little perch here. Otherwise, not sure how we would bring you the Region 1 Baseball Tournament from both locations, from Helling Field in terms of taking about a 100-foot extension cord from the little concession stand / restroom area that they have with power. Here's the one in the dirt to OC. He's getting these games in today some way, somehow, and that's all that matters, whether it's from a coach, player, fan, AD. Just find a way to get the games in with battling Mother Nature. That one's in there for a strike. As the senior second baseman sees this one, 2 balls and 2 strikes with Cody Waitson at second. 2-2 will run in. They'll make the count full at 3-2. The 3-2 last count was against Hoppy back in the fourth inning. Payoff pitch going to be hit on the ground, but that one will go foul as it will go off of the leg there of OC as OC looks to shake this one off, and we'll have a 3-2 upcoming yet again with Trey Huzar, the on-deck circle, and that'll kind of be the question here If you can get OC with the free bag, do you throw against Trey with Carter Wadeson at the plate, who's got the biggest hit of the game, that 2-run double back in the first inning, and Northern Cass is yet to trail since then in this game. So always interesting decisions. We saw Oaks walk Bittner, then Howard came out and hit a bases-clearing triple earlier here today, as this one is going to hit right back up the middle. Don't need to worry about that. Holland's in a charge. Bring it on in with a little pump fake. Make sure to see where the runner was going. Everybody will move up 90 feet. Easton doing a good job playing that one in front of him. Not forcing one to home to allow then possibly OC to try to get to first to second. But OC gets a base knock here. Runners at the corners for Northern Cass as they look to get that run back that Central Cass scored earlier in the inning. As the outfield right now taking a look at where their defensive alignments will be with Lewis, Holland, and Osmonstead. As here goes the delayed steal, and going into second base again will be OC. So you have runners at second and third now. As the infield will come in, Christensen looks back the runner. This one will be all the way to the backstop, trying to come in and score from third. The throw's not going to be in time, and would not mattered anyway. As by the time Christensen got there, coming in was Cody Waitson. And OC will go up to third base. And they'll be 2-0 upcoming with Huzar. And Northern Cass has played their 5th run of the game on the Bank North scoreboard. So 5-1 Jags here, bottom of the 6th inning. The eyes of this one also turn towards Helling Field to find out who is still going to be out in front and who the loser of this game would have to play in an elimination game later this week. As this one's going to hit Trey Huzar, yes it did. That one hit Huzar in the batter's box. And now you'll have runners at the corners here. Top of the 6th inning as we take a look at an update on what's going on between Fargo Oak Grove and the Lisbon Broncos. Last check was Lisbon up by 8. And the Oak Grove Grovers have made some noise. Top of the 5th inning, it's Lisbon 8, Oak Grove 4. So the Grovers down by 8 runs, now down by 4. Top of the 5th inning, Christensen fires this one in. Little chin music, but going into second base will be Trey Huzar. As runners will be back in scoring position as Carter Waitson with a double. Reached base on an error his last time up in the 5th. As one of 3 so far here today. Working from the stretch yet again is Christensen. And this one will be out of the zone at 2-0. Central Cass 1 run, top of the 6th. Northern Cass 2 in the 1st, 1 in the 4th, and 1 in the 5th so far for the Jags. After defeating the Lisbon Broncos back on Thursday, Central Cass Squirrels able to defeat the Kindred Vikings. Here's the 2-1 offering. That one will miss. Now 3-1. As you have Jacob Osi at third base, Trey Huzar at second. With a healthy lead, and especially with the infield coming in. This will miss and will work the count full. So it's been a lot of small ball variety here for the Jags in this inning as Coach Dustin Maggio going to call for a time. You've had a walk for Cody Waitson, sacrifice bunt by Metzger that got Cody to second. A single by Osi that was a infield variety. Trey Huzar was hit by a pitch, and a walk for Carter Waitson as well. With this particular outcome right now, it looks like Easton Holland's going to come in from center field, and we'll let you know what the defensive alignment's going to be here for the Squirrels in a moment. Bottom of the 6th inning, bases full of Jags, 5-1 Northern Cass here on your LiveEvent.com.
I will be your guiding light. 'Cause you don't have to go alone. I will bring you through the storm. I will lift you up.
The Northern Cass Booster Club is here for all Jaguar students from academics, arts, athletics, and co-curricular activities throughout the school year. You can find more information or become a Northern Cass Booster Club member today by scanning the QR code on screen now or follow the Northern Cass Booster Club on Facebook for updates throughout the year, or simply search for the Northern Cass Booster Club page on the Northern Cass School website. Go Jags!
There's more at 104. Hillsborough, North Dakota has everything you need on your next road trip: food, fuel, fun, and family-friendly activities. Stop by and fill up your tank or grab a bite to eat. Have a blast at Goose River Golf Club, the swimming pool, or one of our beautiful parks. There's even ice skating and cross-country skiing. Take in the sights or stay the night so you don't miss a thing. Experience Hillsborough and see why there's more at 104.
Bottom of the sixth inning here as Holland will go from center field to the mound, where you'll have the opposite with Christensen making his way to center field, so a straight switch. Lucas Christensen, 5 1/3 with 7 hits, 5 runs. He is on the hook for runners at first, second, and third. Also from there, 4 walks with a hit by pitch, and 4 strikeouts here for Christensen. As you'll see, bases full of Jags again. OC at third base, Uzar at second. Carter waits and stands at first, as now Holland will have his first opportunity here of this game and of the tournament to be on the mound for the Central Cass Squirrels. For Northern Cass, they have used 4 pitchers in this tournament of Cody Wadeson, Parker Anderson, Metzger, and Trey Huzar. While for the Central Cass Squirrels, Broder, Lindstrom, Peterson, Christensen, and now Easton Holland will join them as well. So 5 pitchers being used here for Central Cass so far here in the tournament. They will come in. Holland will see this one out of the zone. It's now 1-0. Chris Holland walked in the first, singled in the third, and a sacrifice bunt his last time up on the little squeeze play in the fifth. This will miss out of the zone. It's now 2-0. Northern Cass a chance to really break the game open. 1 run as they got back the 1 run that Central Cass scored in the top half of the frame. Put one on the outfield here. Get 2, maybe 3 runs coming across. That'll be a strike. Now 2-1. As the infield for the Squirrels will look to get the runner at home if it's hit on the ground and hit in the infield here. As you'll see the 2-1 pitch, that'll be hit on the ground. That'll go right underneath the glove of Muckow. Picked up there by the second baseman Thompson, but it was a 1-hopper right under Muckow's glove. It'll be now 6-1. So you make it 6-1. That one, again, just right underneath the glove of Noah Muckow. Maybe got just enough of the leather on it, as Thompson then able to keep it in play to not let it go out into right field. But you'll see Sam Clemens 0 for 3 coming up to the plate. And tough one there again from the Squirrels' perspective. Your pitcher makes a decent pitch, able to get it to someone in the infield or the outfield, and it's just been the air kind of a game for Coach Maggio's club that has allowed the Jags to take a 5-run lead. And give credit to Northern Cass, when you get the extra out, they have taken advantage of it here today as well. There's a foul ball. 2 errors in the first inning. Both of them came in to score. If you don't have that, there's 2 less runs. Similar here, 1 error in the inning. 1 run comes in just off of that perspective today. As Holland sees this one miss low. This will be 3 balls and 1 strike here to Clemens. 7th batter of the inning for Northern Cass. As Holland from the stretch with the 3-1. Big swing on the way there for Clemens. It's now 3-2. So for the Jags, trying to make a bigger number on the board here in inning number 6. or they have plated 2 so far in the inning. 3-2 pitch, going to be line drive. That'll go right into the first hop to Lewis. Everybody will go up station to station. A line drive hit here for Sam Clement, and it's now a 7-1 contest. Uzar comes in to score. Carter Waitson goes to third. Hoyland goes to second. Clement with a single on the way. Now 3 runs across here in the inning. Those runs again charged to Lucas Christensen here. That's his last batter that he is on the hook for is Carter Waitson. This one is fouled back now, 0-1 to Hoppy. As this is going to be fouled back into the netting. Still just 1 down in the inning by a sacrifice bunt by Metzger. As now it's 0-2 here to the senior third baseman. 0-2 pitch. Smothered there by Pearson. It's now 1-2. So able to find out the Region 1 softball results in Castleton from earlier today and see what's going to be happening up in Region 2 baseball, where the Burros and the Tommies slated to get underway in a winner's bracket portion of the Region 2 baseball tournament. This will be hit on the ground. That'll go to Thompson. Thompson going to the plate and not going to be in time as that one thrown just a smidge up the line. So coming in will be Carter Waitson. Chris Hoyland. Clement will go to second. Hoppy will reach base on a fielder's choice. It's now 8-1, and just a small ball variety here again for the Jags in the inning has allowed them to add some more runs and really open up this game at 8-1. As you'll see it here, is Sam Johnson taking a look to get a new hitter coming up to the plate. As it and Scotty Waitson's on the on-deck circle. This one looking to come through. Looks to be Jet here, the sophomore, the lefty, coming on here for Northern Cass as the wind continues to howl just a little bit more here in Fargo. Sam Johnson will bring on Jet. As Rich Meyer will come on here and have his first at-bat, and this one going up against Holland. As Dustin Maggio takes a look at the new change coming into the game here for Northern Cass. As they get the changes all set and ready to roll. So Northern Cass had a 4-1 lead going into the bottom of the 6th inning. They put 4 runs across so far here in the 6th. They've opened this game up. As right now you'll have bases full of Jags one more time. As you will see Holland with the pitch. Little check swing that goes to third, trying to get the runner there. And they're going to say, no, he's safe. So trying to backhand that one was Peterson. Peterson then kind of lost it off his glove for a moment, then trying to get the runner at third and Sam Clement, who was hustling. And now Coach Maggio is going to come on here one more time for the Central Cass Squirrels. So Hoyland comes in to score. Sam Clement gets to third. Hoppy's at second. Rich Meister then will reach base as it's going to be 9-1. As you'll see the Jags bat around here in the inning, as will be Cody Wadeson coming to the plate. As you'll see Coach Maggio just talking it over with the infield right now on the mound. As you'll see no defensive changes on this one. as Anderson will reach now at first base, coming in on the courtesy runner here for Jet. But it's a 9-1 contest as the line just keeps on moving here for the Jags. Also miss out of the zone. It's 1-0. Able to reach base on a walk. Single, hit by pitch, walk. Air, single, fielder's choice, and a single here for Northern Cass. As this will miss out of the zone. It's 2-0. 7 straight batters have reached for Northern Cass in the bottom of the 6th inning. As Holland with the pitch, this one will be hit on the ground. Able to dive there, looking to second. Nobody was home covering second base after Peterson was looking for some help by Thompson at second, but by the time Thompson got to second, not going to be able to do much with that with Parker Anderson, and then he looked, and it was already too late to try to get the runner there at first. So Cody Waitson is aboard. Coming in as scores going to be Sam Clement. Hoppy will make his way towards third. Anderson at second, and Cody Waitson stands at first. That's now 10-1 here for the Jags. As Holland sees this one missing. As goes back to Metzger, now top of the lineup here for Northern Cass. Metzger reached base twice on a fielder's choice and a single. Only out of the inning was Metzger on a bunt. Sacrifice bunt, which at the time moved Cody Waitson from first to second base earlier here in the bottom of the 6th inning. As Holland with the pitch, able to get the swinging of Metzger here for the strikeout. And there's 2 down in the first out that Holland has recorded in relief. And we'll see this now to Jacob Ossie. Ossie has 2 runs scored with a single his last time up earlier in the inning. As this one is in there for a strike at 0-1. As Holland with the 0-1 pitch. That'll be hit on the ground. This one will be a C&I single. Northern Cass will come in. Sam Johnson waves the runner across. The throw, it's not going to be a matter anyway, as it's going to be a run differential, and Northern Cass will win this one in 6 via the run rule by a final of 11-1 here in 6 innings. So Jacob Ossie gets the game-winning or game finale, we'll put it to you that way, hit, as he's able to plate here in this one, and Hoppy to score in that. So Northern Cass 11, Central Cass 1. Central Cass will play the winner of Lisbon and Oak Grove in an elimination game. That game's slated for tomorrow, while Northern Cass right now, they are definitely in the catbird seat as they have a loss yet to give. Otherwise, everybody else has 1 loss here that would be still alive tomorrow in the tournament. So the Jags with the 11-1 win, able to plate in the bottom of the 6th inning as they were able to put 7 runs across in the bottom of the 6th. We'll make our way to our post-game show, brought to you in part by Norman County Raceway and the Red River Valley Speedway. We're ready to turn and put a bow on our coverage here today from Teamsters Field in Fargo.
Farmers, are you expanding, upgrading, or want to automate? Visit with the experienced staff at Hope Electric to learn about the latest electrical systems and the newest technologies that they have developed to make your operation more efficient. Get a custom system in place with features like iPad truck loading and remote view grain storage, touchscreen controls, hazard monitoring systems, and wireless cellular cameras to protect your assets. Hope Electric, serving the agricultural and commercial industry since 1978. Visit hopeelectric.com or call 701-945-2460.
Hunter Insurance Agency is a locally owned full-service agency providing protection and coverage in a number of different areas. Hunter Insurance Agency offers multi-peril crop insurance, crop hail insurance, and farm insurance for buildings and equipment. Plus, they offer home, auto, life, and business insurance. For more information, go online to hunterinsuranceagency.com or stop in and speak with Johnny Jorgensen at Hunter Insurance Agency. Find them at 201 Main Street, Hunter.
As we come back here on our post-game show, your final in 6 innings on the Norman County Raceway Red River Valley Speedway post-game report. We'll keep you updated of what's going on right now between Oak Grove and Lisbon as well here in a moment. But check out the World of Outlaw Late Models on June the 28th in Ada. Tickets now available at NormanCountyRaceway.com. That again is NormanCountyRaceway.com in Ada, as we take a look at what's going to be happening again one more time with Oak Grove and Lisbon. As right now, if you're a Central Cass fan, you're wondering, do you have the Broncos or the Grovers to contend with a little bit later on here this week? But let's take a look at the final box score and the line score in this one. For Northern Cass, 11 runs, 14 hits. There was an error by the Jags here in this one. And then from the Central Cass variety, 1 run, 5 hits, and 5 errors in this outcome. Winning pitcher of record will be Trey Huzar, 4 1/3 innings of work, 4 hits, a walk, and 7 strikeouts. Losing pitcher of record will be Lucas Christensen, 5 innings of work, 9 hits, 9 runs, 7 earned, 4 walks, and 4 strikeouts here on the mound for Lucas. Also for Northern Cass here in this game, Metzger goes 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a strikeout. Able to go with Jacob Osi, 2 for 5 with 2 runs and 1 run driven in. Trey Huzar goes 1 of 3 with 3 runs scored. Carter Waitson, 2 of 3 with 2 RBIs, a walk, and a strikeout. And from that perspective, Chris Hoyland goes 2 for 2 with a run scored and 2 RBIs. Sam Clement goes 1 of 4 today with a run scored and 1 run driven in. Hoppy goes 1 of 3 with 2 runs and a run driven in as well. Parker Anderson 1 of 3 with a run scored. And then you had Jet coming in. Rich Meyer able to get an infield single with a run driven in. And Cody Waitson goes 1 of 3 with a 1 scored and a 1 RBI. Bottom of the 6th inning, Lisbon leads the Oak Grove Grovers. Last check, 11-4. So Lisbon 3 outs away from making their way to play the Central Cass Squirrels. Central Cass, Keegan Peterson goes 0 for 2. Brody Cagley goes 1 of 2 with a run scored here today and a walk. Jake Thompson 0 for 3. Noah Muckow 0 for 2. Pearson goes 1 of 3 with a run driven in. Pearson goes 1 of 3 here today. With a run driven in. That's Pearson. Jack Everson goes 1 of 3. Ryan Osmonstead 1 of 2. The same for Grayson Lewis. And Lucas Christensen goes 0 for 2 here today. Again, this is our post-game show brought to you in part by Norman County Raceway and the Red River Valley Speedway. When we come back, Enbridge Energy, player of the game, that and more still to come here on your LiveEvent.com.
It's time to hit the ground with summer lawn and gardening projects, and Mayport Hardware is here to help. Stop by the greenhouse and browse the wide selection of flowers to liven up your yard. From the outdoor power tools of mowers, tillers, and trimmers to the lawn care essentials of seeds, fertilizers, and top-tier gardening tools, let Mayport Hardware transform your yard to where the grass is greener. Come visit Tim, Sue, and the staff at Trail County's Hardware Hank on Main Street in Mayville.
Your 11-1 is your final here today. Northern Cass over the Central Cass Squirrels. As we now get to our post-game report, continues here with our Enbridge Energy player of the game. Go to Enbridge.com for career opportunities. Life takes energy. That again is Enbridge.com. A kind of wholesale team win, if you will, for Northern Cass, as everybody found a way to get on base here in the lineup today with the 10 players that they got to the plate. All 10 of them finished with a collective hit or at least drew a walk as well. But all of them, 1 through 9, and then even with the pinch hitter there with Jet, all included a hit. So it's going to be a team win today for Northern Cass when you can get a 1 through 9 lineup like that, all with production at the plate as well. Enbridge Energy players of the game kind of goes to the collective of the team here in this one for Coach Sam Johnson and Northern Cass. Go to Enbridge.com for career opportunities. From there, our Agassi Precision Ag play the contest. Well, going back to the bottom of the first inning, Northern Cass able to get both Osi and Huzar on base via the error. Then Carter Waitson came up with a 2 RBI double. It was a 2-0 lead through 3. Northern Cass would add on to that, make it a 4-0 lead through 4. But at that point, that was the big base knock that gave Northern Cass the lead. That is our Agassi Precision Ag play the contest. The Carter Waitson RBI double, making Central Cass pay for those couple of errors back in the first inning. Your local precision planting dealer, Agassi Precision Ag in Hillsboro. Call 701-436-2119 or visit planterdoc.com. And then finally we get to our Halstead Telephone Company post-game connection. Go to Halstead Tel, and that again is Halstead Telephone Company at halsteadtel.com. And that will be the sacrifice two-parter. There was the double play variety in which Osi popped one up to Peterson. Peterson then was able to glove it and then threw to Everson to finish off the fourth inning. But the very next inning, the squeeze play by Hoyland to put down the bunt, able to get it in for a run. That is a 1-2 combination in terms of a little defense from the Squirrels in one inning, but then they execute it from the Jags for the next inning. That is our connection of the game, brought to you in part by Halstead Company with that suicide squeeze. As we continue here on our Norman County Raceway and Red River Valley Speedway, we'll put a bow on this one next here from Fargo.
World of Outlaws late models return to the Norman County Raceway, Ada, Minnesota, June 28th. Ada Building Center LLC start to finish showdown. Presented by R&J Broadcasting Incorporated. Enjoy the experience. Nationwide top 10 experience last year. Let's make it number 1 this year. World of Outlaws late models, Ada Building Center LLC start to finish showdown. Presented by R&J Broadcasting Incorporated. Tickets now available ncraceway.com.
It's safe to say we have it pretty good in the Drayton, North Dakota area. Growing sugar beets, making sugar, bringing a little sweetness to the world. Every day, American Crystal Sugar produces sweet products people love in a place we love to call home. It's a thing we like to call the sweet life, and we're proud to share it with you. American Crystal Sugar's Drayton facility has recently started offering a $4 per hour shift differential for rotating shifts. Go to AmericanCrystalCareers.com for more information.
Take your softball or baseball skills to the next level with personalized instruction from the professional staff at the Ball Yard. Their mission is to provide area players, young and old, the opportunity to improve their skills in a professional level facility and to provide a high level of instruction to youth players to help them achieve their goals at the Ball Yard. Come and visit the one place in the Fargo-Moorhead area where it's always summer. For more information, go online to fmballyard.com. That's fmballyard.com.
As we continue, again, your final in 6 innings, Northern Cass, moving forward, they will either play the winner of Central Cass or Lisbon or Oak Grove if Oak Grove can mount a comeback. But right now with Josh Boyko on the call, it's the Lisbon Broncos up 11-4 over the Oak Grove Grovers in the top of the 7th inning. So as it stands right now, it would be a Central Cass Lisbon elimination game. Then the winner would move into the championship series and have a contest, as that has gone final. Now the Lisbon Broncos have won over the Fargo Oak Grove Grovers. So the Lisbon Broncos have defeated Oak Grove by a final of 11-4. So Lisbon Broncos will be playing Central Cass in an elimination game. Then the winner of that game will be playing the Northern Cass Jaguars coming up here for the Region 1 Championship. And the winner of the Broncos and the Squirrels would have to beat Northern Cass twice. So if you want to win a championship, if you're a Central Cass fan or a Lisbon Bronco fan, you will have to win 3 more times here in the Region 1 baseball tournament. Well, if you're a Northern Cass fan, you either win championship game number 1 or championship game number 2, and you'll be making your way to the state tournament on the north side of Fargo a week from Thursday at Newman Outdoor Field. Again, for more information on the Red River Valley Speedway, go to redrivervalleyspeedway.com. That again is redrivervalleyspeedway.com. And just kind of where we are for the broadcast booth set up here today, a little bit tougher to get some interviews here in terms of where the players are compared to where we are, about a good 400 plus feet away from home plate. These interviews brought to you in part by, throughout the course of the day and the tournament, are brought to you in part by Dakota Heritage Bank, sharing their heritage and their future with locations in North Dakota and Minnesota. Go to dhb.bank. That again is dhb.bank. Make sure you patronize all of our sponsors for bringing you high school baseball here today on yourliveevent.com. Without them, we would not be able to bring you some more baseball. And also, make sure you stay tuned to yourliveevent.com and check out the complete schedule for when it becomes public. We'll have it on our social media pages on X and Facebook, and the same thing on our website. So if the schedule moves around from where it's supposed to be tomorrow into Wednesday, if it does get moved back to Wednesday, or everything just gets moved back 48 hours, again, go to yourliveevent.com. Thanks for all of our sponsors for tuning in. So your finals here today, the Oaks Tornadoes able to play against the Lisbon Broncos. Lisbon picked up a win. They went and played the Oak Grove Grovers after Oak Grove downed Kindred. Broncos then defeat the Grovers to be a top 3 team in the region. While here in this one, Central Cass falls to Northern Cass as the Jags, who are moving in to the championship as they await the winner of the Squirrels and the Lisbon Broncos. I'm Chase Miller. Thanks so much for tuning into our broadcast, and we'll see you later in the week for some more high school sports across Minnesota and North Dakota on yourliveevent.com.